let's talk about how great Season 3 of Invincible. Okay. This season spanned from February 6th to March 13th, so let's take a look back starting at Episode 1. First, let's talk about the blue suit. I think it looked fine and I grew on me through the season, but I think that they should have stayed closer to the comics with this. Like, look at how much better it looks. And Amazon Prime literally released promo art of the suit. After the Adam Eve special, this season also focused on Mark and Eve's relationship. I thought it was good and it made sense. And their in-combat team-up moves were crazy. I also really liked how Eve, Mark, and Ember still got along. There was a lot of hate towards Immortal and Duplicate this season, which I personally didn't feel too strongly about. We got Kate's backstory along with Multiple, which was pretty cool. And Multipole is really cool too. This guy's fights were insane, especially the breakout scene. And Immortal. Yeah, he sucks. But I also think that for the first time since Season 1 Episode 1, the Guardians of the Globe actually felt like they belonged. This season, Alan and Omni-Man were prisoners in the Viltrumite prison, and they added my boy to Fortnite. I don't remember if it was at the end of Season 2 or the beginning of Season 3, but Alan basically got put in the prison purposely to save Nolan for the Viltrumite war. Nolan basically says,
"No, I don't want your help. I disobeyed my people. I must pay the consequences."
And then he's like,
I think I miss my wife."
And then the Viltrumite dudes tried to take care of Alan, but it just makes him stronger. And then when Nolan is about to be done for, he and Alan start to break out, and they even got Battle Beast. Then the three of them were left out of the rest of the season for some reason. I already talked about Multipole, but you know who else is named Paul. Paul. I thought that Paul was a decent character, though I saw some people hating on him. He really helps with Debbie and her arc getting over Nolan. And his arc was that he doesn't think that he is good enough for Debbie because he's not a superhero. They also know each other from work. I also thought this scene was funny. At first this season I really didn't care about Oliver, but I really enjoyed him by the end of the season. I mean, what a glow up. I liked what they did with him, thinking that killing the bad guys is fine and learning from Mark that it's not. And it kinda foreshadows Mark's decisions by the end of the season. But why would Art put the same logo as Omni-Man on Oliver's suit? Rex Splode was probably the best character of the season. No, he was the best character of the season. I mean, how did he not die from this last season? But that was last season, and this season, he did die. Like, everyone hates Immortal, but loves Rex. Why couldn't Immortal die? But Rex actually might have the best character development in the show. He went from a jerk who treated everyone terribly to realizing that and trying to change. And even when he changed, he was still himself. At first I thought he and Ray were kinda odd, but by the end of his arc I thought they were great. They also had Mark versus Cecil for basically the first half of the season. This also gave us a great Cecil backstory too. And this meant we got plenty of Cecil and Donald, which I love. The fight between Mark and Cecil was insane and was also what made the Guardians of the Globe split up. Episode 6 was the one that took the season from good to great. Powerplex thinks that Invincible killed his sister and niece in the Battle of Chicago. He obviously doesn't know how hard Mark tried to keep them alive. This guy's fight scenes were peak. Everything about him is cool. By the end of the episode he still hates Invincible, even thought hating on him killed his wife and kid. Then came Episode 7. At the end of Episode 6 it was revealed that Angstrom Levi was the one spying on Mark, and he had gathered a bunch of evil marks. Steven Yeun absolutely cooked with these voices. Besides Cape Vincible, he sounded weird. The rest were sick though. Peak. And yeah, Rex sacrificed himself to kill for Invincible. The fight scene between Angstrom and Mark was the best animation of the whole series. This is what they were saving the budget for. There was also this guy. I don't know who he is, but apparently he's kinda known from the comics. Oliver was coming in clutch too. Then in the credits scene Conquest shows up and I had heard of him, so I was hyped. This dude was menacing, bro. This one frame itself, it's devious. This fight was crazy. It took most of the episode, but it was worth it. Conquest was not holding back on Oliver though. He straight up tried to stretch him like Plastic Man. When I said the Mark vs. Angstrom fight was the best animation, I meant to say this scene with Mark's hair. I don't know why, but his hair was flowing for real. Anyway, Eve wakes up and is off the IR. She was pulling out all the moves here. She had the armor and everything. Then Conquest kills her and Mark is devastated until she literally comes back to life and Sonic booms Conquest. Mark ended up finishing off Conquest and Cecil and the Guardians show up to help Mark and Eve. Then was Rex's funeral. Rudy says that he is changing his name to Rex in honor of him. Eve and Black Samson also said a bit but nothing really. The episode ends with Mark telling Oliver he was right and that if anyone threatens his family he won't hesitate to take care of them. The credit scene was of the red guy from season 1 doing something with this other guy. So after watching the whole season my rating is 4.5 peak. So that's it, goodbye.